Hey, I know in the past you've probably heard me tell you that diet and exercise alone are not going to help you lose the pregnancy weight and feel more like yourself again. But in saying that, you still need to put an emphasis on exercise and routine. They are still a really important part of your journey towards losing that pregnancy weight and feeling more like yourself again. But before I get into today's topic, let me introduce myself. For those of you that don't know me, hi, I'm Jacqueline Strempel, and I help new moms lose that pregnancy weight and feel more like themselves again without having to go out and buy a gym membership, without having to cook using fancy ingredients that you can't even pronounce, and most importantly, without having to feel guilty for taking some of that time for yourself. And today's hot topic leading up to our webinar is all about exercise. So, before I get into that, this is training number 1 leading up to our webinar. Our webinar is going to be on the 26th of February at 8:30 p.m. South African Standard Time. On the webinar, I'm going to be teaching you how to avoid the 5 biggest weight loss mistakes that new mums make. So today I'm going to touch upon the exercise side of it, but on the webinar we're going to go more deeper into the science and strategy behind having a good exercise routine in place to help you lose that pregnancy weight. So, on to my tips. Oh yeah, and if you want to sign up for that webinar, which you do want to because it's going to be amazing, the link is in the comments above. And yes, I will be doing the webinar inside my Facebook group, the Fabulously Fit New Mums Club. You're going to want to sign up still because that is the way that you're going to get the most out of the webinar. I have created an awesome workbook for you that you can fill in while you listen to the webinar so that you have your key takeaways with you that you can always have with you, and you can start creating your own plan towards having your new mama weight loss success story. Now, on to today's hot topic of exercise. Like I said before, I'm going to go deeper into this topic on the webinar to speak more about the science behind it and the strategy behind it. But today I just wanted to help you to just get started. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling unmotivated, overwhelmed, exhausted, and you literally have no brain power left in you to even think about starting to exercise again after giving birth, then that is exactly what I wanted to speak to you about today. The number one thing, the thing that really helped me to lose that pregnancy weight and feel more like myself again at just 4 months postpartum, I started with a plan. So that plan was encompassing everything. Today I just wanted to really hone in on the exercise part of it, creating a plan for what you are going to do to make sure that you're getting movement into your daily routine. So sometimes when you say exercise, it feels like a big word. Like you have to go to the gym and intentionally sweat your bum off, feel sore the next day. This is not the case, especially when you're just starting off exercising again after giving birth. A lot of your muscles have weakened. You need to start strengthening those deeper muscles of your core before you can even begin to think about that heavy, more intense exercise. That we're going to touch about more on the webinar as well, about why it's counterproductive to start doing too much too soon. So what I'm talking about is just getting movement whenever and wherever you can in the day. But it's going to really help you if you have a plan first. Have a plan for what you're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or what you're not going to do, when your rest days are going to be. Having a plan is going to be so much better because what I feel, and from my experience, when I plan for something, when I say, okay, look, Monday I'm going to do Pilates, Tuesday I'm going to go for a run, Wednesday I'm going to do yoga, this is what I'm talking about for a plan, then I have already set my intention for the week, which means I am more likely to do what I had set out to do because I planned it, it's in my head already. I place the clue in my head to be like, by the way, get prepared, on Monday we're going to be doing this. And it also is better to have a plan, because if you're like me and you actually like going to the gym, how many times have you got to the gym and thought, well, what am I going to do now? So having a plan set out for exactly what you're going to do when you get there is going to make that session, that time that you already carved out for yourself, so much more productive. My second tip towards, starting exercise again is to get some support. And I mean this, because you're a mom, you're busy, and I'm not saying you have to go to the gym, but maybe you like going to the gym and that's what you want to do for your me time. Then you're going to need somebody who's going to watch the kids if your gym doesn't have a daycare. So you got to really then plan out in advance, because then you got to think about, okay, I want to do this on Monday from 8 to 9 in the morning, so who's going to watch my kids while I do that? So you may have to reach out to friends and family for support here. And also from a different perspective, you need support in the sense of who's going to help keep you accountable, because you have this desire to lose the pregnancy weight and feel more like yourself again. You're going to need people to help you. You need people in your corner. You got to have people cheering you on that are going to help keep you motivated to stay on that journey, so that you don't fall off the bandwagon and fail before you even start. So, you need support in the form of, who's going to be there for you to watch your kids, and who's going to be there to cheer you on and hold you accountable to what you're trying to achieve. My last tip for starting exercise and getting that exercise back into your routine again is, not necessarily now needing the support, still having a plan, but thinking about those little pockets of time in the day where you actually do have a little bit of time. So now I'm speaking about more, when your kids are babies. I'm talking about like that first, 1 to 9 to 12 months of your baby's life. How are you going to fit movement into those pockets of time that you get? So I have a few tips surrounding just that tip alone. One of them is, if you're breastfeeding, a really good option would be for you to get an exercise ball. And then you can breastfeed while you're sitting on the exercise ball. Just sitting there in the first place is going to help stabilize those muscles that have weakened during carrying your baby for 9 months, giving labor, going through a C-section. All of those things have weakened. So just sitting on an exercise ball is already going to help those stabilizers kick in and start strengthening them again. And while you're on the exercise ball, there are a few things that you can do while you're breastfeeding, like pelvic tilts and Kegels, bouncing up and down gently, rocking back and forth gently. That's a really good place to start. Another option is putting your baby in a pram and going for a walk. That for me was a huge game changer, guys. I did not go to the gym when I first lost the weight. When I lost the weight at 4 months postpartum, that was purely from walking and doing my own exercise routines at home. The exact exercise routines that I have up in the unit section in our Fabulously Fit New Moms Facebook group. You can use some of those exercises, and plot them into your exercise routine for the week. I also have a Baby and Me exercise plan. So there's exercises that you can do with your baby. That's another way that you can fit it in. Another way you can fit it in is if your baby is not crawling yet, you can put them down on their play mat and do, a 10 to 15 minute quick exercise routine. Your baby's in sight, you can see them, you can even include them by, if you're pushing up, push up, right just above them and smiling at them while you're doing it. The other thing is when your child gets a little bit older, you can include them in those exercise routines. So if you're doing squats, you can be like, get them included in that. Kids love, going up and down at that, I guess like 18-month mark. That's when my daughter sort of started wanting to do squats with me and try and do burpees with me. So you can include them in it as well. Other things is when your baby or toddler is napping, that is an awesome time. I know that's also a time that you have to get a lot of the other things done. But if you're making this a priority, definitely take 10 minutes out of that time and just do a little quick workout. There are lots of ways that you can get these things in, even just sitting on your couch or your bed at the end of the day, even while you're watching TV. You can do some leg exercises while you're sitting there. You know, those are not too intense. They're not going to activate your core for those of you that maybe had a C-section. So those are my tips for you of how you can try and work that in. Now, if you have been listening, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, but for every single one of these training videos leading up to the webinar, I have a free gift for you. So today's free gift is an exercise planner, and it's almost a year long. I took it from March because we're almost in March. So literally there is a planner for you for every month from March until December, just something that you can print out and physically write out your exercise plan for the week. When are you going to try and fit some movement in during the week? And if you haven't started yet, I recommend gentle restorative movements like the ones that I was talking about on the exercise ball. I also did a Restore Your Core video that is in our units in the Fabulously Fit New Mums Club Facebook group. That's another thing that you can add in, but literally just start with 2 times a week. And then maybe in between doing some walking, going for a walk with your kid in the pram, with your baby in the pram, or, you know, if your kids are a little bit older, taking them for a walk, getting some kind of movement in. It's not about, you know, I gotta just hit the gym hard and I gotta sweat it off. It's not about that. It's just about slowly working yourself up into the idea of moving around a bit more. So those are my tips for today. If you want to get your hands on that exercise planner, just type exercise planner below. And remember, our webinar is coming up, how to avoid the 5 biggest weight loss mistakes new mums make. If you want to get your hands on that webinar, it's going to be live on the 26th of February at 8:30 p.m. South African Standard Time in the Facebook group, Fabulously Fit New Mums Club. And in order to get the workbook, your takeaway from that webinar, you need to sign up at the link above. There will also be 2 free gifts for those of you that stay to the end of the webinar. One of them is a 4-week walking plan. So, you know, there's lots of value here for you guys if you want to take advantage of it. And if you sign up to the webinar link above, but you can't make it live, don't worry, because if you use that link to sign up, that means you're on the list and you will be getting access to the replay. So if you can't show up on the 26th, no worries, you will definitely get the replay and you will still have access to the free gifts by watching the replay. So that is it from me today. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If it's your first time watching me, pop a 1 in the comments so I can introduce myself, and just write exercise planner in the comments below if you want to get your hands on the free exercise planner. That's it from me today. I will be coming live on Wednesday around the same time with training number 2 and your second free gift. Look forward to seeing you then. Till then, take care of yourself, mama. Bye.